Hello. This is another video for anybody out there who has a uterus. It's gonna be about Epsom salt, what Epsom salt did for my periods, what it could possibly do for yours. And just before I get started, if you need the history of my menstrual, which actually you do need it, to fully understand what I'm talking about here. But for that, for the history, for what I experience every month, for everything that I've been tested for, and for all of the remedies that I have already tried, the two previous videos I filmed about this will be in the description box, so you definitely want to watch those first before you comment, like suggesting anything or trying to tell me what illnesses I have and all of that. Watch those first. So, about Epsom salt, you guys know that I've tried a lot of stuff for my period pain, and even when something doesn't work for me, I still like to suggest it for y'all because everybody's body is different. What works for me isn't necessarily going to work for other people, and just because something doesn't work for me doesn't mean it's not going to work for you. So I always want to put it out there and share my experience. I first tried magnesium last year. If you don't know, Epsom salt is magnesium phos, magnesium sulfate. Magnesium sulfate? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. And I first tried magnesium last year because that's one of like the top things that people suggest to you for PMS and for period pain. And I was told through all of my research and studies that magnesium glycinate was the best thing to use when it came to period cramps. And so I was taking that in supplement form last year. And for me, it definitely did get rid of my PMS symptoms as far as my nausea and feeling weak and faint, everything else that comes with PMS. But as far as my pain, it didn't even put the smallest dent in it. It did absolutely nothing for it. So I was apprehensive about trying Epsom salt because it's magnesium as well. But all of the reviews that I read about it were great. People don't just use it for period pain, they use it for, there were people using it for like fibromyalgia and sciatica. They were using it for pretty severe pain. I was looking at like side effects and what I needed to do, and everything kind of seemed pretty simple. So I was like, when your period pain is to the point that mine is, you will pretty much try anything to get rid of it. So basically, when you soak in an Epsom salt bath, the magnesium dissolves in the water and then you soak it all in through your skin. Magnesium is good for lots of body functions, including muscle pain, and your uterus is a muscle that's contracting, and that's what's causing those ugly period cramps. It was suggested that for period pain, you should start soaking in an Epsom salt bath every night 2 days prior to when the bleeding is supposed to start. And you should continue soaking in the bath until the pain stops. It was suggested to use 2 cups of the Epsom salt in each bath and to soak for 15 minutes, up to 15 minutes. And due to how extreme my pain is and like past things that I've tried, I usually like need to double or triple my dosage for whatever they're suggesting. So what I did was I started taking the baths 10 days, 7 to 10 days in advance. And I would still soak for 15 minutes. I would fill this little bowl up. I don't know how much this is, but I'll find out and insert that in the video later. I would lay in the tub on my belly because they would say to submerge the part of your body that's in pain. I wasn't in pain yet. I mean, I was having like the little mild premenstrual cramps or whatever, but that's where my uterus and my thighs and my ass is where the pain was gonna be at. So I just laid in there on my stomach because I'm tiny and I could do that. So the first time I did it was in September. And I actually did it for 10 days straight because my period ended up being a little late that month. But yeah, I did it for 10 days. And the morning that my period came, I instantly could feel the difference. Usually, like these days, I wake up and I know I've started bleeding because I feel so weak, so faint. I have like cold sweats and I just feel nauseous and sick from the moment I wake up. But this day, I felt more like how I used to feel when I got my period as a teenager, back when my period was normal and it wasn't painful. It was more like just annoying. So I got up, I saw that I had started bleeding, so I was like, I'll just take another Epsom salt bath, just because. Did that, and I had the premenstrual cramps, the little mild cramps, uh, all the way up until maybe an hour after I woke up. And after that, I just like kept waiting for the real pain to hit. Like usually it would the pain would gradually get worse after like 2 hours. It'll start to get worse and worse and worse until I just pass out. But this time the pain this time the pain never came. It just the mild cramps went away, and then I was up, I was cleaning my room, I was drinking water, I was doing things, and after about 4 hours, when the pain still hadn't come, I knew I was gonna be okay. I wasn't just okay, I was more than okay. I felt amazing. I had so much energy. I felt my body felt normal. It felt healthy. I could have did cartwheels. I think I told you guys that before. Like the first period I had after I stopped eating dairy, it was better than that though, because I had like so much energy and I was in such a good mood. It was like I had a mood boost or something, and it was completely painless. I didn't have to take no more baths because all my pain was already gone. I wasn't feeling anything. I had a great appetite. Usually I can't eat for the first 2 days of my period. And so I had this great appetite. I was eating. I was walking around doing stuff. I was working on things. I was enjoying myself. And honestly, I wanted to cry. I felt so good. I could not believe it. I was like, oh my God, I've tried everything, and this Epsom salt just saved me after all this time. Another thing outside of it being completely painless is that my period only lasted 4 days when it usually lasts 6 days. And the last 2 days were extremely light. I almost didn't even need to wear a pad. It was hands down the best period I've ever had in my life. if 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 that could be my period every month, it would be like I didn't even have a period. Like, oh, I wouldn't mind bleeding, every month. As long as I could feel great like that, that would be everything. But unfortunately, the Epsom salt wasn't successful for me that way anymore after that. I've tried it 4 times. So that was the first time. The second time, I didn't have a bad period like how I usually do, but I still had pain. I think I had only taken like 2 or 3 baths at that point. So I didn't do it the 10 days in advance because my period actually came early. So I just chalked it up to me like not doing it long enough that month. I was still able to get out of bed and do things and eat, but I was still experiencing some pain. Then the third time I tried it, I had only had one bath, and it was like the day before, like 2 days, I'm sorry, 2 days before my period came. So that month I got sick and I was not prepared, y'all. It had been over 2 months since I gotten sick and I was not ready. It was really bad. Throwing up everywhere, diarrhea, passed out on the floor, the worst pain. Just, I mean, you guys know how it goes. This month, I made sure that I was taking my baths. I was like, I'm gonna take it even more days in advance so that I can make sure even if my period comes early, I'm still gonna be okay. And I was like fully believing like, oh, I'm good because I'm doing everything exactly how I did the first time. So why wouldn't I be? And it didn't work. This time it wasn't as bad as it usually is as far as pain. It wasn't as bad as it usually is, but it was still very, very, very bad. I was still in so much pain and feeling like my body was like being I, I, I felt like my body was rotting from the inside out, to be honest. And you know, it wasn't painful enough to make me throw up like it usually does, but it was so bad that I couldn't get out of bed for 2 days. And for some reason, this was the heaviest period that I had had in years. I can't even remember the last time my period was this heavy. I woke up in a pool of blood 3 separate times. And only one of those times was after a full night of sleep. The other 2 times was after like a little nap when I could finally be pain free enough to like get some sleep. And the next day, the second day of that period, I tried to get up and like go down and, get some food finally. I'm almost fainted trying to go downstairs and get food. I came back upstairs. I couldn't even bring my food to my mouth barely. Like I really had to push myself to do it because I felt like I was about to fall out any minute. It was bad and I was like, okay, I guess the Epsom salt is not working for me anymore. But like I said, I just wanted to share my experience with it with y'all because for all you know, if you try it, it might end up being the same way it was the first time I tried it, and it might keep working for you. Everyone's body is different. Everybody's body is going to react differently to it. So for me, it wasn't the remedy that I needed, unfortunately. But I'm just hoping it can help one of you out there because a lot of y'all have commented on my period videos, so I know a lot of us are suffering. So hopefully it can help one of you out so you're not suffering every month. As far as me, the next thing I'm going to try is maca root. I've seen a lot of things about maca root lately, mainly related to, sexual libido and gaining weight. But some women have also said that it helped their period. It made their period painless. And I've found out that maca root actually balances your hormones, which is a big reason why that could be happening. And so like I said, I'm just trying whatever I can before I have to try anything that's too rough on my body, like birth control or having surgery or having a baby. Maca root is the next option for me. I've already ordered some that this woman actually recommended, the one she used that made her periods painless. And yeah, I'm gonna try that for a few months. I always try everything new for like at least 2 or 3 times so I can make sure it's actually working before I tell you guys about it. But I'm gonna try that for a few months, and if it's getting the job done, then I'm gonna come back on here and tell you guys my experience and share that with y'all. So I don't know, hopefully this video is helpful for some of you in the future, and I'll let you guys know what's going on with me in a few months. So thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in a few months. Bye.